vlog. I wanted to kick off this video. I haven't recorded too much from the week, but I wanted to jump on, say hi, introduce myself. My name's Mackenzie. This is my channel, Think Too Much. This is going to be another week in my life living in New York City. Thanks so much for being here. I am not sure what the theme of this video is going to be yet. I have a feeling it's going to be introspective, but the state of my mind is such that like right now, I don't know. It's chaos a little bit. And I think we're gonna land somewhere, I'm just not sure where. Or we're just gonna continue with the chaos theme, like being a little scattered, which is also okay. I was just feeling a little emo, and I thought to myself, like, when's the last time I picked up the camera when I was like, or just like, when's the last time I had like a video where I was like a little bit depressed? And it's been at least a year, so I thought, what better time to record? So that's what I'm doing. I feel like I'm not depressed, like that's not quite the right way to put it, but I just feel a little bit like life's getting me down right now, you know? And even like today I was kind of laughing where it was just like, I think yesterday, I should clarify. It's been getting me down for like the past 36 to 48 hours. Before that, I was having a great time. It was my birthday weekend last weekend. I had like a lovely day off on Monday. We went to the Met. Skipped leg day. Like a nice dinner. I feel like it was a little emo at dinner, but like that was totally like to be expected. I'm always a little emo on my birthday. I feel like it's a rite of passage. That's how you properly usher in the new year. No, I'm kidding, but like so I was like a little bit emo, and I feel like that kind of vibe maybe carried over into thing, but it was just so not definitive of like the weekend or the day by any stretch of the imagination. So that, I'm glad that remained kind of sacred and nice and fun. And then yesterday, which was a Tuesday, I went into work and I was just like, not feeling it, not feeling good. I was a little bit hungover, but I'd only had 2 drinks, so I wasn't hungover in that I was like feeling like physically gross so much as it was just like, I could feel the like drain of the alcohol like affecting my like outlook and my mood. And I'm already having like a lot of kind of deep existential thoughts about like career stuff right now, so I feel like it was kind of just kind of like a perfect recipe to feel that way. And also it's really busy at work. There's just kind of like a lot of things that I feel like kind of collided to make yesterday like, you know, I ended it and I was like, it makes sense that this was a tough day. I like decided to get home, like immediately take a shower, do kind of like self-care, like wellness coded things. And by self-care, I mean taking a shower, but it was a warm shower and it's really cold outside, so that felt like close enough to a spa day to me. So it was like kind of trying to take care of myself, and I do, like I genuinely felt better by the end of the night. And then today I woke up kind of early, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take advantage of this. I've got a book I'm reading right now that I'm excited about. It's called like Design Your Life. People who are like followers of the Substacker that I like all recommended it, and they were like, it's a great way to kind of try to approach, you know, I don't want to say fixing, because fixing is the wrong word, but just like how to be more mindful about kind of creating like a fulfilling life for yourself and trying to kind of tackle it not just from the angle of one specific thing that you're trying to like upgrade or trying to optimize or like improve or whatever. And I also hate that terminology for talking about one's life, but just know that I'm trying to be kind of more thoughtful about how to just feel more fulfilled in life. And this book felt like an interesting kind of angle in, especially because it started as it often does with like career stuff. And it was like, this feels like it will offer kind of healthy perspective, because career can't give you everything that we want it to, because the way career is coded and the culture is as something that's like meant to give you like all of this fulfillment that it just like couldn't possibly. And that's a little bit of the capitalist trap. If anyone was wondering my opinion on that. But today I woke up early, and I was like, great, I'm gonna like read a little bit. I had my PT appointment super early. Like, I am not an early riser, but I woke up at like 6 a.m. I had my PT at 7. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take advantage. I can clean up some of the like birthday decorations that were up from the days before. Whatever, have like a nice day of it. And that was lovely. And then I went to PT, and I learned that my insurance denied me of continuing PT, which is doubly frustrating given the fact that I was walking around with a sore knee. I was going to the PT and ready to be like, hey man, like, unfortunately I had like another like mini setback. I don't know what I did. I just fucking bent my knee wrong. And for context, like, I'm not terribly injured by any stretch of the imagination. You've seen me. Like, I'm okay. But I think I've got like runner's knee. So it's just kind of this like persistent achiness, and like PT is starting to help, which is great. But I would really like to be able to run again without having to worry about semi-chronic pain. And my insurer had a different idea. They said I was healthy enough. So I did embark on the process of appealing that today. And I was pretty annoyed about that. I was feeling pretty bad about it. I think just because like, it just reminded me like having any form of injury is just like one of those things that like brings you down. You don't want it to, and you want to think that you can like manage your mind through it or whatever, but it's just kind of fucking depressing. You know, it just like affects you in ways you don't even realize. Like, I think that it's kind of seeping into the other parts of my life, because like there are routines that have been actively disrupted. Like, I can't, you know, clean the house without thinking about how it's affecting my knee if I'm going to like give it a setback, which is I think how I fell into the current setback that my knee is experiencing. All of which is to say, the knee thing has been a bother, and it's been a bother for months now, and it's disrupted my routines. And I think that when my routines get disrupted, I feel like less myself, and like my brain interprets that in all sorts of dumb ways. Like, for example, immediately body image is affected, just immediately, because my physical routines are interrupted, and like my body doesn't have to change at all. But just like immediately, like I can't trust the eyeballs that I'm looking at myself through the mirror with. Anyway, I am ranting. I'm giving you too many details about this thing that no one really cares about. But all of this is to say that I've had like this very mild but nagging knee injury for the last like few months. And it's one of those things that just takes a few months of like treatment and like healing to get better. And I'm just like in the midst of it, and it was really frustrating to have, it's like I was kind of starting to establish a routine, right? I recognized that my routines were disrupted as a result of this thing. Time to build new routines, right? It's like, how do I find some level of stasis with this kind of like new semi-normal? Because it's gonna be like the norm for now, right? For maybe a few more months. I'm like finally getting to like some semblance of that, and then immediately it's just kind of ripped away, and I get to the PT, and it's also my fault because my insurance called me over the weekend, and I have been getting just like an obscene amount of spam calls of late, like obscene. I can't tell you how many different loan forgiveness departments have reached out to me, trying to give me fake loans. And that is what I thought the phone call was, and it wasn't. It was actually my insurance being like, you can't go to PT, so sorry. So that was pretty frustrating. But I decided to not like just like waste the morning or like immediately come home, and I was feeling like kind of this like anxious, like frustrated energy, and I was like, you know what will be great for this? Working out. And it actually was. I worked out, I like did my normal PT exercises, I feel like my knee was like feeling a little bit better. I like got home at like a reasonable time, was like in time to like get ready, go to work, whatever else. and I'm feeling okay. And then I had an outfit picked out from last night because, again, I'm like trying to be forward thinking, and it was good. And I was able to like get out of the house at like more on time than I usually am, which is great. I'm not a punctual person, but I was thinking to myself, like when I woke up at 6 a.m. I was like, God, wouldn't it be nice to like get to work kind of early and not feel rushed? So that's like the energy I was going after, and that was largely successful. And then on the way to the train, this like I don't know. On the way to the train, it's like there's crowds everywhere. It's New York. Everyone's like going every which way, but plus there's like mountains of snow that are blocking a bunch of the sidewalks, specifically the crosswalks. Traffic tends to back up in those areas, and we were like getting to the other side of a crosswalk, and honestly not even in one of those like super backed up areas, and some grown man just like fucking shoulder checks me. It was like he was going really fast. I didn't have time to get out of his way, and he just like shoulder checked me, which has happened to me I think like once or twice in New York before, and it's always one of those things that like is just like fucking infuriating. Like you laugh in the moment because it's just like so ridiculous, right? It's like this person decided that their day was like so bad it didn't matter who they took it out on, and they're just like, in my book, is a special place in hell for people like that. I don't know why he did it. I don't know what was going on. Of course he like didn't acknowledge it. Once again, I'm just gonna reiterate, grown man, like had at least like, I don't know, 30 maybe 50 pounds on me, decides to shoulder check me. And it wasn't an accident. It was very intentional. You can tell when it's an accident versus when it's intentional. Sucked. And I feel like my like fragile sense of like stability and okayness immediately shaken. Like immediately. Like it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, oh, of course this happens. Of course this happens. And it was just like, and I'm ready to crash out. I'm ready to crash out. Struggling not to cry on the train, as one does. That does not happen to me often. And it was just one of those days where I was like, I can't believe that happened on this day, right? When my like mental state is like so fucking fragile to begin with. So that's just like a window into my day. If you're wondering why you didn't get any recording from the daylight hours of the day, I think you got the morning. You got me reading in the morning. But that's it. It's because everything went downhill from there. So that's where we're at. Interested to see where we go next. Like I said, it's like still kind of an introspective period, but I'm feeling much more scattered. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't know if it's hormones. I don't know if it's just like life just happening, but just wanted everyone to know that I'm having one of those days where it felt like I woke up, I was ready to take on the day, and life immediately shoved me over and then kicked me a couple times while I was on the ground. So if you're having a day like that, I just want you to know, I feel you. Yeah. Anyway, and then it's, of course, it's one of those things where it's like when you're in that mood, it's like everything is annoying, and those are probably like the highlights of like the most obnoxious things that happened in the day. And I also don't want to make a point of just rambling about all my problems to this video. So I'm going to cut myself off here, but thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully things are looking up from here on out. I'm very proud of my outfit today, but I forgot to record it. So I'm doing that now. Hello vlog. Okay, so the last time we spoke, I was coming off of a really terrible day and naturally kind of felt the need to check back in and assure you that the week got better. I was in fact able to buck up, which we love. Yeah, it wasn't like complete 360, like next day woke up feeling amazing, but kind of slowly but surely picking myself up out of my little melancholic state and kind of entered into the weekend with better spirits. Even I would say ending the weekend on good spirits, so that's nice. And I don't know, in case you're watching this because you're having a bad day, or you just happen to be watching this and you're having a bad day, just a reminder, I guess, that life moves on, and so do you. I was actually doing some reflecting during the week, not like reflecting, like I wasn't journaling, it actually just kind of dawned on me, because I was looking back at my like YouTube channel doing some like strategic stuff, essentially, and was kind of looking back on some of my unemployment logs, and I remembered the kind of instability and like insecurity that I was feeling at that time. And then it kind of dawned on me that I think I'm in a similarly unstable situation right now. It is definitely more stable because I have a job. But me and Max have like recently kind of talked about like, I guess just kind of like our future plan, and like what it looks like, because we want to move to San Francisco eventually. So we just kind of had a conversation where we got kind of serious about what that timeline could look like, and it turns out the timeline could be pretty quick. And then that kind of conversation also kind of kicked off a lot of like thinking and reflecting about like my career path and like some changes I think I want to make in my career path. So like when that was happening, like the conversation of like, oh, actually we can get real about this and like it can happen very quickly, that's exciting. Like it's like an exciting next step. But inevitably what followed was the need to actually kind of map out what that can look like logistically and actually facilitate this transition, which definitely introduces some instability, and it also introduces some insecurity, because I'm thinking about, okay, well, what kind of career do I want to have if I'm trying to like veer from the path of EA completely? What does that look like? What does restarting look like? What do I need to do to facilitate that transition? And just kind of like introduce me to, I guess, like insecure questions that I don't normally have to deal with because I'm employed. So anyway, I just kind of, it had dawned on me that this is like a similar, albeit not nearly as intense, period of transition, where we're just kind of getting serious about making changes, and that inevitably, I think, led to a little bit of instability. And I know myself well enough to know that when I am faced with instability and lacking routine, I tend to, that's kind of when anxiety or insecurity bubbles up in weird ways. I do think that Wednesday was always going to be a bad day, just like due to the circumstances. Like there was definitely some shitty luck that was a part of that equation. But in general, I think the maybe more melancholic state that I started the week with immediately after my birthday, very impressive. I think it's related to that, just getting serious about how to facilitate what's next, because that is an intimidating endeavor. But anyway, just wanted to check in, offer that update. If you are having a bad day, I'm so sorry. I truly hope it gets better soon. And yeah, if you stuck around for this long, thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed. Would love to catch you in the next one. Yeah, otherwise I will chat with you soon.